Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today I'm bringing you guys this video. It is something a little different. I don't usually do this for you guys, but today I decided to go ahead and do my cousin's makeup on camera for you guys. I wanted to do it so you guys can see that you're able to achieve the looks that I do on camera for you guys on yourselves. That it's not only because I have a certain shape of face, eye, or whatever, like it can still be done. You guys do it. Just pretty much follow what I'm doing and you'll be able to achieve it too. If I look a little different or if the lighting is different, it's because I am recording for this for you guys right now and it is nighttime. I did it earlier during the day for you guys. It's just we went to the movies and then we went to have drinks and stuff, and now it's like later and probably my makeup is like non-existent except for my lipstick. If I kind of like come into the frame a little bit throughout the video, it's kind of hard. I kind of forgot that I was recording myself doing her makeup and I would like get in front of the camera. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm gonna stop talking now so you guys can see what I did. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Alright, to get started, first of all, how gorgeous is this model? She's so cute. So what we did was first I already primed her, I moisturized her face and her eyes with my Mary Kay moisturizers for the eyes and the face. Then we went ahead and applied this Revlon Photoready Color Correcting Primer all over her face, and I just kind of blended it out all over with the Beauty Blender there. Then for foundation, we went ahead and added the Mary Kay foundation in the shade Beige 3. And again, I dotted it all over her face, and then we blended it out with a Beauty Blender as well. And it was damped, the Beauty Blender. Now, even though this foundation does dry matte, I always like to set the foundations, and I'm going to use this Rommel Stay matte powder. I'm just going to put it all over her face. Like I said, I always like to mattify the foundations. Well, not really mattify them, but just set them and make sure they're not going to go anywhere, and that's why we went ahead and used this powder. Now, after I did that, then I went ahead and I primed her eyelids using this Mary Kay eye primer, and I applied it, I dotted it all over her eyes, and then I just used the little beauty blenders from like the micro ones to sort of blend them out all over the eyes. Moving on to the concealer fest, because I did apply quite a bunch. I applied the Maybelline Age Rewind or the Instant Age Rewind one in the color Fair. I applied it with this flat shader brush, or flat, I think it's like foundation brush, I think it's called. I don't know. It's from Real Techniques. I applied it first in the usual areas like the bridge of the nose, the upside down triangles under the eyes, over the lids, a little bit on the chin, a little on the cupid's bow, pretty much everywhere where we wanted to highlight. Then I went over with the NYX HD Concealer. I just applied it a little bit to make that concealer pop a little more. And then after, I went ahead and blended all of that out with a beauty blender, the micro ones as well. And then I went ahead and added over that the MAC Prep+Pime highlighter in the color Light Boost. I just did this to give it more of like a more highlighted look to her face. Now to set that highlighted area, I am going to take the setting brush by Real Techniques, and with the Shade and Light Contour Palette, I'm taking the lightest shade. It's called Lucid, and I am sort of tapping everything out, making sure there's no creases with the damp beauty blender first, and then I apply the shade with the brush. Moving on to contouring, I am going to take this concealer from LA Girl Pro Conceal, the HD concealer in the color Medium Bisque. I am going to apply this in the usual areas, in the hollows of the cheeks, around the nose to contour it a little bit, around the forehead. Even though she kind of has a small forehead, I still want to do it just to carve out her face a little more. Around the chin, a little bit under the the jawline, under the jaw as well, a little under the lip. Even though she kind of has a pouty lip, I do want to give the appearance of more of a poutier lip. That's why I applied it there. And then I'm just going to blend all that out with a damp beauty blender. I do spritz it with a little bit of the Mary Kay setting spray just to wet it a little more. I do switch over to my Real Techniques dual fiber contouring brush just to blend it out a little further. And then after that, everywhere where I applied that concealer, I am going to go over with the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. I am taking the shade called Sombre. And again, I am going to apply that everywhere where I applied the contouring concealer. And I do switch over to that Beige Cosmetics dual fiber brush to do it around the nose to blend it out. And then again, I do apply that same shade from the Kat Von D palette with that brush as well. I'm still bronzing up the face with that Sombre shade from the Kat Von D palette there. I'm just applying it everywhere where I already applied the concealer. It's pretty much to set that contour with that powder. Now I did want to bake her face a little bit, not too much. It wasn't on for too long or anything, but I did do it for a little bit. I'm using the Ben 9 Luxury Powder in Banana shade. I pretty much took one of those disposable sponges and I just applied a crazy amount of powder onto that sponge and I placed it right underneath that contour. I made that straight line right under it just to make it more sharp. I wanted it to look really, really sharp, and that's why I made that straight line there. I also applied it pretty much where I highlighted. So on her forehead, the bridge of her nose, on her chin, underneath the eyes, I did apply an extra amount because I wanted that underneath her eyes to be really, really highlighted. And like I said, I did leave this on for a couple minutes and then I just brushed it off. Obviously in the video, you guys see me brush it off like right away, but I did leave it on for a couple minutes. And I did retouch up on her contouring with the powder. For blush, I did apply a mix of the Benefit Dandelion and Coralista blushes. I first applied the Dandelion one and then I went over with the Coralista. I wanted to give her more of like a flushed look, and I feel like both of these blushes do a great job with that. I feel like they're gorgeous shades and they're just amazing, and it definitely looks so good on her skin tone. For highlighter, I used the Balm's Mary Luminizer. I applied it with this angled contour brush from BH Cosmetics. I put it at the highest points of her cheekbones, over her cupid's bow, the bridge of her nose, over her eyebrows. I did switch over to the BH Cosmetics little fan brush. Then I used this dual fiber brush just to make sure everything was blended very nicely all over the face. For the eyes, I used the BH Cosmetics Carli Bible palette. Starting with the eyes, I mattified the lids with the lightest shade on the palette all over the lid. Alright, then I took the Sigma E35 and I took the third from the top shade and I just applied it. I applied it pretty much all over the lid, but I started at her crease and I did go above that because I did want to bring up that shade a little more. And I just kept adding more color until I got to the sort of like the darkest that I wanted it to be. Then I moved on with the Juvia's blending brush. I took the fourth shade from the top and I applied it. I did stay true to her crease on this one. And I just blended it all that out, and I keep adding color and then I blend it out. I keep adding color and then I blend out. I do switch brushes from time to time, but again, I'm just adding color and blending it out. I want to add little by little and then blend it out rather than just making a huge mess. I do switch over to that clean Sigma E40 just to blend everything out at the top. Then I took the Juvia's Precision brush again to add a little more of that shade and blend it out a little further. I do switch to the Mary Kay blending brush here, and I take the darkest shade on the top and I do apply it right on her outer V and right on her crease. I don't want to take it any higher than that. I am adding a little bit and then I blend. add a little bit more, and then I blend. Again, it's just on her outer V and right on her crease. We're just going to keep this shade right there because it is the darkest one, and we're just going to continue blending it out. If you don't want to go this dark, it's fine. Just go up to where you feel comfortable. I do go ahead back with the Sigma E40 and I add a little bit of that white light shade, and I'm just going all over all of the edges because I want to make sure there are no harsh lines around her eyes at all. Then I take the Mary Kay, just a shader brush, and I do apply that light shade over her lids. I do wet the brush. I spritz it with some of that setting spray just to make that shadow pop a little more. And then I'm going over with the Mary Kay brush. I have not added any extra product. I'm just making sure there's no, you don't see the color change. It's just like a blended area altogether. I wanted to darken out her outer V a little more, so I just took any matte shade. Honestly, I don't even know which one I grabbed. It was just a matte shade, and I added it right on her outer V. I did not take it any further higher or anything like that. I just applied it straight on her outer V, and I kind of connected it with her lower lash line as well. And then I just switched over to this brush just to blend it out a little more. And then at the end, I went ahead with this tiny Beige Cosmetics shader brush, and then I applied that dark shade on her lower lash line. Then I went with that same Juvia's Place brush to blend it out a little further. Then I took that Sigma E40 again just to blend out the edges, make sure nothing was kind of like messy there. Then I took this fan brush from Beige Cosmetics and I took that highlighting shade and I applied it right on her brow bone. I wanted to highlight with that. Then I just added some of that shadow from the shimmery shadow from the palette again in her inner corners and her lid again just to make it pop a little more. Then I went over and I started her brows with the NYX HD Micro Pencil, I think it's called, in the shade Brunette, and I just carved out her brows with that, and I brushed them out with the a little spoolie that I had there. Then for mascara, I used the Mary Kay Lash Love in I Love Black. I applied it all over her lashes, top and bottom. For her lips, they were already moisturized before we started her makeup. Now we're just adding that Colourpop Lippie stick and Lippie pencil in the color Lumiere. I did just outline her lips with the Lippie pencil, and then I applied the Lippie stick all over the lips. Alright guys, so that is all for this video. As always, I will be posting all the products that I use down below in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already done so. That way you will not miss out on any of the videos that I post. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!